Hello and welcome. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C. We're a law firm in Oakland, California. We fight for the rights of immigrants who are facing deportation, and I'm also the immigrant coach. And today I want to talk about, it's January 2019, and as we get into January and as we get into the year, often we forget the goals that we set for ourselves. And what I'd like to do is to represent us to those. And I'd also talk about what I've learned and how and what I look for when I am goal setting, all right? When I'm creating my goals for the year. And so we're talking about goals and how do we make those goals effective? And that's really what we want to talk about today. And there's an acronym that I really like, and I learned this from a guy named Brian Tracy. You can check out Brian Tracy's work on his website. I think that it's shared in other places and on other platforms too, so I'm not sure if Brian Tracy was the original creator of this acronym. But what he talks about is creating SMART goals, which is it's a pun and play on words, obviously. And I just want to explain what he means by them. All right, so I'm going to draw it out. SMART. Okay. So hopefully you can see that there in the shot. When you're making a goal, you want to make sure that it has certain criteria fit so that you can know that it's going to be an effective goal for you and actually drive you towards what you want. All right? So the first thing to be aware of as you make the goal is you want it to be specific. All right? So the first S of the word SMART is specific. All right? You don't want to just say, hey, my goal this year is to make more money, right? Because if that's your goal, then you could just make $1 more and there you go, your goal was met, right? You want it to be specific. How much more money do you want to make this year than you made last year? How much more productive or effective do you want to be this year than you were last year? Specifically, how far do you want to be able to run? How much weight do you want to be able to lift? How much do you want to be able to accomplish? All right? So put a number by it, right? And really get specific about what are you after. The second, which is kind of right in there, is you want it to be measurable. All right? If it's just, hey, I want to feel better about myself, all right? That's an honorable thing to want. But now let's think about how we could measure that so that as we progress and sometimes at the end of the year we're like, gosh, I didn't make it. We just feel lousy about ourselves and we think, oh, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And yet, sometimes if we look at the metrics and we see the progress that we've actually made a lot more progress than we've given ourselves credit for. And that's the importance of measurement, all right? So your goal, you want a goal that's measurable. The third, you want it to be attainable, or I've seen people call it achievable, all right? Now, when you're making a goal, you don't want to set a goal that's like, hey, in 1 year I'm going to, create the newest rocket that makes it to Mars or something like that. If you're not like a space engineer scientist, right? Like there's sometimes we set goals for ourselves that are like completely unrealistic. Sometimes we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year and we underestimate. Often what they say is we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and we underestimate what we can do in 5. But if we are wise about setting a goal, we don't want to make it too easy. We don't want to make it too easy like it was a no-brainer, but we also want to make sure that it is achievable, right? We want it to stretch us, but we want it to be achievable, all right? The third is that we want it to be relevant, all right? We want it to matter. If it's not relevant and if it doesn't matter for you, for what you're doing, then it's like you need a why. You need to feel reconnected to this goal as you look at it, because you want to be managing yourself towards the attainment of that goal. All right? So it needs to be relevant to you. That is, it needs to matter to you. And the last, which is T, is it's got to be time-based. Which is basically like, hey, if you want to make $1 million, right? If you want to make $1 million, anybody can make $1 million, and I mean that sincerely. All right. If you work 10 hours a day, if you make $10 an hour, all right. If you work $10 an hour, all you have to do is you have to work. What would that be? It would be 10,000 hours. No, it would be 100,000 hours in your lifetime, and you would have made $1 million. All right? And so we can just do the math and figure that out. Just saying that doesn't actually matter. What matters is the by when. You don't want to make $1 million or have made $1 million by the time you're 90. Okay? Instead, you want to have a time associated with that. You want to have made $1 million, in the next 2 years, right? You want to cut that time in half if that's possible, right? And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So, for me, I'm running my second marathon. I've got to get up to 20 miles by 20 miles of running by the last week of February so that I can run 26 on March 3rd, all right? And I know that, and that's what I'm going for, and we're going to make it happen. And then I'm going to do my first triathlon this summer. It's going to be fun. So I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for watching this video, and hope it was useful. And if you have created a SMART goal for yourself, or if you want to look at it or whatever, post it as a comment under this video on YouTube. We could share it, and I'd love to see what your goals are. So thanks, and my coaching services were all about trying to help people to achieve what it is they really want to achieve in their lives. And so that's what this is all about. So thank you for watching this. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the Immigrant Coach, and here at the Immigrant Coach, we want you to achieve your American dream. And thank you for watching.